Biden could have won the election by winning Florida. Doesn't mean he won the election.
He's got more electoral votes for the moment, but you can't believe anything.
Who does?
Biden.
Well, because they haven't because all of these borderline states, they're not awarding anyone those states yet because I guess they want to count absentee ballots and all of that stuff. But the trend is certainly went completely against everything that the news organizations were saying.
Yeah, but it changes every minute, but it says Biden 205 and Trump 132.
No, now it says 227 and 204.
That's in CNN, of course.
No, I'm reading Fox. They projected Texas with Trump, and they also Trump won Ohio. But for example, the Vegas is given. If you go to the first of all, the markets.
Okay, you're on video.
Am I on video, Mario?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, you're on.
Is Elazar on?
Yes.
Oh, Elazar is on. Okay. Harold, maybe Harold left town.
Don't know.
It's probably out of town.
Okay. So we're on Pei Zion. 87. So we said if you have a balcony, 4x4, so chokek that's hanging over water, so you make a hole in the floor of the balcony, chokek bo arba al arba, and then you can lower your pail down to the water. That's a heter because like we drop walls down to the water. Maybe not so. Rabbi Yehuda holds of good achis, but to bend a wall and drop it, aval kof the good low, because here you have to bend the wall. It's not just drop it. Maybe the leniency is only by the Kinneret. There are cities, there are corrals, so there's a lot of population around that body of water. Maybe we're lenient because of Bashar Memos, but other waters that don't have all these structures around them may be low. Let's say your balcony was close to the wall, where the gap between the balcony and the wall is less than 3 tfachim, so you can say lavud. So tzarche orka arba amos, it has to be 4 amos wide. V'rochba has to arba amos long. V'rochba chadasar mashu, so you can bend it and drop it. Haisa skufaf was upright. Tzarche goiva sar tfachim has to be 10 tfachim high. V'rochba shisha tfachim ushnei mashin, so that you can also drop it and bend it. Ravuna Breder of Yisrael Isa made it Bekir and Zavis. It was a corner. Tzarchshei goiva asar tfachim. It has to be 10 tfachim high. V'rochva shnei tfachim shnei mashun. It's width 2 and a little bit. What about just making a hole in the floor? So the Gemara says Davida kiasisa. It's on stilts. So it's standing not connected to a house. So it's far away from a koisel. But the other eitzes we gave, you have to use the wall of the house itself to make one of the walls. Mishnah. You have a stream that's traveling through a courtyard. Because the stream is a carmelis, and you're in a Rosh Hashanah, you can't fill from the stream. You have to build walls 10 tfachim high where the stream comes in and where the stream goes out. And it's a siman that it's a special leniency for water drawing. But if you just have a wall and the stream goes underneath the wall, That works. Tidon mishum mechitza. Amrei d'maisa b'ama shel Ovel. There was a stream in the city of Ovel. Shayimamal mimen al pizkenim b'Shabbos. And the Zakenim allowed people to draw water from there. Amrulo, that's because they shlaya b'kashir. The stream was not that wide or deep, so therefore it was considered a makam p'tur. It was not a karmelis. If the stream is four tefachim wide and 10 tefachim deep, then it's considered a karmelis.
Would we concern that the canal, the water came from outside the city? It came into the city on Shabbos? Would that make it prohibited? The water that
It's
came-
prohibited because the water is considered a karmelis. And a karmelis cannot be picked up from a Rishus HaYachid.
Was there, let's say it came through the city, there was a wall. What about the fact that the water came from outside the city on Shabbos?
No, we had that about Tchum, that the water is not considered, the water is considered constantly flowing from here to there. It's not like the same water traveled from that place to that place. We had that before regarding Tchum. It's not a violation of Tchum, but it is a violation of a Rishus, because the stream is considered a karmelis. By building the wall, you correct that.
Mm.
But we're not concerned about water coming from beyond the city. You only made the walls on the entrance of the stream, not at the exit. You're not allowed to fill from it on Shabbos. Unless you make walls 10 tefachim on either side. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, you don't have to make on either side. If the stream goes underneath one of the walls, like a suspended wall. And on Rabbi Yehuda Ma'aseh b'amas hamayim sh'aisa ba ma'ovel tzipori, there was a stream that went from Ovel to Tzipori. And the people of that city would draw from it. There's no raya from there, but like I said, it wasn't 10 deep and 4 wide. Therefore, it's not considered a karmelis, it's a makam tur. You have 2 houses that between the 2 houses is a stream. And you could look out your window and lower a pail into the stream. And the Brisa says, pachos mishloisha, which we don't know what that means. You can lower your bucket and fill up. If it's shlosha, ein mishashal dlima malay. Now, Rav Shimon Gamliel omer pachos ma'arba. It's 4 tefachim or less. Mishashal dlima malay. Arba ein mishashal dlima malay. Now, the Gemara wants to know b'may askinan. What are we talking about? Gufa. Are we talking about if the river is not 3 tefachim or 4 tefachim? Ein karmelis pchusim arba. You can't have a karmelis less than 4 tefachim. So we can't be talking about the width of the river. Lema ketanoim lishmaitza. Is your sugi related to machlokes tanoim regarding this? So the Gemara says no. Ela bagafer. We're talking about the side, like the rim of the stream, and that is smaller than 3 by 3 tefachim. So it creates an area that's called a makam p'tur. So the people are going to lean out of the chalon, transfer from the Rishus HaYachid to the makam p'tur. Right? They don't do it directly into the water. They put the bucket on the rim, and we're dealing with the size of the rim. The size of the rim is going to make a difference whether it's considered a makam p'tur or not. And not only that, then you can transfer it from the makam p'tur into the water. That's what it means lahachlif. Lahachlif also means that they could share it with the other house. No. Like I said, from the window to the rim, to the Carmelites, and that's permitted. Let's say you have a post in the Rishus Harabim, and somebody's mutter livnei Rishus Hayachid livnei Rishus Harabim lakasif alav. So people from Rishus Hayachid can place something from Rishus Hayachid into the Makom Tur. People from the Rishus Harabim can also place something on a Makom Tur, but they can't hand it over from Rishus Harabim to Rishus Hayachid. So how come you say over here you could be machlif? Hasam Rishus Deraisa. There the case is Rishus Deraisa. Here, Chotzer, Carmelis, these are just Rishus Rabbanon. So we can be more lenient. We can allow hachlafa. Frag the Gemara of Rabbi Yochanan Rishus Rabbanon Nami Amar. I'm going to show you evidence that Rabbi Yochanan also holds that you could be machlif even by Rishus Rabbanon. The Tanya. Koisel shebein shtei chatzeiros, gavoya asar tfachim, v'roicha barba. You have two chatzeiros, there's a wall in between them, and the wall is 10 tfachim high and 4 tfachim wide. And the two chatzeiros, the din is like this, ma'arvin shnayim ve'en ma'arvin achim. There's no opening in the wall. So the wall separates the two chatzeiros. Therefore, each chatzer can make their own eruv. So that's why you need 2 eruvim, but they can't be ma'ariv 1. Hay barosho peiros. Let's say on top of the wall there was fruit. Elu olim makan v'ochlu ve'elu olim makan v'ochlu. Each person can go up to the top of the wall and eat there. Nifratza koisel. If a hole was made in the wall, now there's an opening. If the opening is ad eser amos marvin shnayim, v'imrotzu marvin echad, you can put a door there and they can each make their own eruv, or you can say that the door connects them and they can make one eruv. They should kapesach. Now, if the opening is yoser mikan is more than 10, marvin echad v'marvin shnayim, you can only make one eruv because you can't divide. There's no wall dividing between the two chatzeros. Now that's the baraisa vavinan bo. And we analyzed. What about if the wall didn't have arba, which is a makam ptur, basically? Amarav, aver shtei rishuya shaletas bo. Then there would be permission for both chatzeros to go up there, and therefore there would be an admixture, and it's not its own place. V'lo yozis bo mole nima. You wouldn't be able to move any item up there because it's like touching something without an eruv. But Rav Yochanan Amar, no, elu malam mikan v'oichlin, elu malam mikan v'oichlin. Each can go up and eat. Vaz Rav Yochanan tamei, and Rav Yochanan is consistent. Because it's a makam tour, just like you can set up a post less than 4 by 4 tvachim. Mutar livnei rishus harabim, livnei rishus hayachid lekatzev alav uvad shelo yachlifu. As long as you don't interchange. So, and those are also only rishuyas drabonon. So the Gemara says that's not Rav Yochanan. I use the iri amrei. Who's the iri? Well, the ziri kasha. It's a kasha for ziri. The iri mukim lo b'ama samayim gufa. No, he says that the measurement of 3 and 4 is the width of the stream, and in fact, this halacha of Dimi Tanoi, whether or not is a makam, whether it becomes a carmelis or not. Afraid the Gemara, but why shouldn't it be v'teviki chori carmelis? If you have a side stream, it should be like the side of a carmelis. It'll still be a carmelis. Abaya baravav and Rav Chanina barav Amar Tavayu ein chor lekarmelis. Carmelis doesn't have a din of chor, but Rav Ashi Amar filu tema yesh chor lekarmelis. But hanim ili besmucha. It's got to be right next to the river. But this went really far. Hacha b'mufleges. So it's very distant, and therefore you can't say it's a chor of the carmelis. Ravina Amar Kagon David le nifke apuma. You have some reeds by the walls that have been built as sort of a hecker. That the issue is lavud, right? We have a famous machlek that says lavud is up to 4. Chachamim say only 3. So if this opening is less than 3, then it's closed. And then you have no access to the carmelis. If it's open, then you'll have access to the carmelis. Mishnah. gezustrish a balcony shilamalam lamayim. So you can't lean over the balcony with a pail and get the water. You're getting water from a carmelist which sayachid emamalim ena b'Shabbos. Elim ken asula mechitza gvoa sar tfachim. You have to make a hole in the balcony floor and make some walls 10 tfachim high, and then you can drop the barrel between those walls. It's like a floating, you could draw an imaginary line from these walls down to the water. Bein milmala, bein milmato. V'chein shnei gzusros zulam al mizu. If you have two balconies, one on top of another, or even to the side, so asu le'elyon, if they made this trap door for the upper balcony, v'lo asu le'tachtona, so shtein asuros, because they both have, unless you make an eruv, ad sheyarvu. More says, mastis Chananya ben Akavya. The Mishnah is not like Chananya. The Tanya Chananya ben Akavya, gezuster sheish bo arba amois. If you have a balcony, choykik bo arba amomalei. Chananya says you have to make a hole. Our Mishnah says no. As long as you have walls 10 tefachim high and you can get access to it, that's enough. On Rav Yechim Rav Yosef ben Zimmer lo yitir. He did not matir. Chananya ben Akavya ela biyam shel tferia, and he only made this leniency in Kinneret. Because there are villages and all sorts of meadows surrounding that lake. He permitted three things. He allowed them to draw water through a pail from the Kinneret. You could bury something in like beans, like psoilus of beans, like to keep it warm.
In the residue of beans.
Right. Umistavgin baluntis. Aluntis is like a certain kind of medicinal drink. The Gemara will explain all these things. This that you can if you add a height of walls to your balcony, and then you can draw imaginary walls down, then you can lean over and draw up water from water below you. The Tanya Batsamai, what is this burying in the beans? The Tanya. Hishkim lavi psoilas. You woke up early and you wanted to get the refuse from your fields, straw, and you want to use them to put your fruit in them, to preserve them. Now, if you're happy that there was dew on the straw, so then it becomes suitable to be makabel tumah. Because remember, we need things that are food that has to be moist. If the fruit is moist and he was happy that the straw had dew on it, then the fruit can be makabel tumah. The im bishvil shelo yivatam imlachto. It's not, but let's say it's not that he wanted the dew to be on the straw. He woke up early just so he shouldn't be lazy. And it just so happens that he went out early in the morning that there was dew on it, then then he's not happy that the water is there, and it would not convey tumah to the fruit. Okay.